Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. I want to welcome you back to my channel, Opinion Stated. Hey, listen, I'm not even going to take a whole bunch of time today. I'm excited that the 2024-2025 NBA season kicked off tonight with two contests, which saw first of all, the New York Knicks square off against defending champion, the Boston Celtics, who received their ring this evening. And also, then the late game was the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow. So I'm going to get to the Laker game first and foremost, because if you have already saw the thumbnail, then, man, you know, I probably want to say that this is going to be my last video on this subject matter, because I'm just so happy that it finally happened. But without further ado, I'm going to entitle this episode LeBron and Bronny, NBA his story in the faking. And so I just want to talk about really quickly before I'm going to go into some highlights from these two games. I do want to say that I'm not going to be doing videos like this every single day. You know what I mean? I am happy that the NBA season is back, but I know for certain I won't be able to do them on like a Wednesday going into Thursdays, because I have a standing obligation on Wednesday nights. However, on short nights in the association, when I don't have anything else going on, or just a couple games, or I could just choose from a couple games, and like Friday has a crazy full slate, I'll just like kind of pick and choose some, and then I'll do a video such as this one. But all this build up, man, has been coming towards this. LeBron James and Bronny James make history taking the court, and we're going to get a chance to witness this history and this historic moment, and blah, 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 since this kid was drafted into the league. And, finally, the moment arrived, and it arrived tonight. And I'm happy that it arrived, because, now that we've gotten out of the way, we can just focus on the actual game of basketball. And, yeah, so it happened tonight, and it took about 11 minutes into the second quarter. With just 4 minutes remaining in the first half. The the head coach JJ Redick of the LA Lakers decided to put Bronny James in the game, and the Lakers were actually up by 16 points at the time, so it made sense. I mean, the Lakers were in control, like real control of this game, and it just seems like a good time to get this historic moment out of the way. And then he inserts, Bronny and LeBron, make their way to the scores table, and crowd cheers and people jump up with their phones and the whole nine, and the announcers say a couple things about it. And the moment happens, and then the moment passes. And it literally not, I'm not just saying like clearly the moment happened and the moment passes. Like, it wasn't as big a deal as they would have liked it to be. And that's because the moment was contrived. You know what I mean? And this is what I've been saying the whole time. Like, it would mean much more. I mean, they flew in Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey's dad for this. You know what I mean? Because they were the first father-son duo to take the field in baseball. They flew in from Florida just to be in LA for this game, and it wasn't that big of a deal. That's what I've been saying the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't that big of a deal. And you know what I mean? This his story. It's his story. That's all it is. It's his story, fake ass story. And I know a lot of people are going to take to the airwaves tomorrow, and they're going to tell you guys all kinds of stuff like, "Oh my God, this was the most amazing thing that ever happened." And if you were just one of those moments that you're going to always wonder, like, where were you when Bronny and Bron took the court together? And just like, it's not that big of a deal, bro. It like literally wasn't that big of a deal. And not only that, you know what I mean? It's going to be all the people that are like, "Oh, you guys just don't understand the context of history, and you're a hater," and they'll convince you that people like me, maybe people like you, and you know what I mean, others are haters. And I don't know about you guys, but I know me personally, I can admit I am a hater. I hate fake shit. You know what I mean? I hate fake shit. And so I was texting my homies as we're watching the game. You know what I mean? Like we had a group text going for all the sports lovers. And we're just kind of laughing at, you know what I mean, the fact that this is happening. And I'm not all of us, you know what I mean, like think the same or agree the same. Some are, you know, I got a whole bunch of Bron people, you know what I mean, in my friendship circle too, man. It's interesting, you know what I mean. So some of them are kind of looking at this from historical context, and I'm just keeping it real about it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. And so anyway, I want to get into what I knew was going to happen, which was as soon as the moment happened. You know what I mean? I just Googled it really quick I Googled LeBron and Bronny make history. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to see how fast the mainstream media would actually jump on the story. I mean, I know they were just sitting there, article already typed up with their hand on the send button. They couldn't wait for it to finally happen. And as soon as it happened, whoop, you know what I mean? They wanted to be the first person to scoop it and the first person to have a story. So I snatched down one of those stories that I want to get into. And this is from Yahoo Sports, and the article is written by a Jack Bayer. LeBron James and Bronny become first father-son pair to play together in NBA history. LeBron James and his eldest son Bronny are officially the first father-son duo to take the court together in NBA history. The accomplishment teased for years and locked in at the 2024 NBA draft came to pass in the Los Angeles Lakers' season opener against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. The elder James was in the starting lineup, but needed to wait until 8 minutes into the second quarter for his son to make an appearance. Once the pair checked in, they received, I guess he meant a standing ovation, or this says a knowing ovation. I think he was just typing too fast. He's trying to hurry up and get the scoop out. But a standing ovation. Some microphones also caught LeBron offering some fatherly advice before the two checked in. So, you know what I mean? If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you kind of catch some of the footage, man, flying around. I normally I didn't want to add like too much footage to this because even though it's fair use, I just don't want to get flagged for copyright for going on these people. I'll probably get flagged for this anyway, and I don't even care at this point. But, you know, so again, the moment happened, man, and it was what it was. Congratulations to them. I do want to say, man, I'm happy that they got a chance to have their contrived moment and their chance to occupy the history books in a way that nobody gives a shit about. Like nobody else ever cared to do it because it's not that big of a deal. But hey, man, you know what I mean? To potato, tomato, tomato, whatever, you know what I mean? Floats your boat. If that makes them feel good about themselves, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm glad that we finally got it out of the way so that we can focus now on the actual sport. You know what I mean? And understanding that this kid is not, he's not anywhere near ready to play in this league, and that's okay. He'll take some years now to develop, man. It's all good. But the moment has passed, and it wasn't really that big, so it's over. After the game, right after the game, LeBron James obviously was interviewed by Taylor Rooks. My bad. So Taylor Rooks interviews LeBron and Bronny right after the game on TNT, and I just want you guys to take a listen to. I just chopped off the first part. The first part of her question was asking LeBron how they were able to find success tonight, and that was arbitrary. It really wasn't important. You know what I mean? What he said was, "Oh, togetherness when we play hard and we grab rebounds." It was the rest of the thing that I sound clipped up. So, or I just want you to see it. Just take a look.
Bronny, you were locked in all week, and you said you would soak in the moment after the game. What will you remember most about tonight?
Just going up to that scorer's table with my dad, checking in for the first time. That's a crazy moment I will never forget.
As you checked in and you realized this lifelong dream, what did you realize about accomplishing that?
I mean, I'm just extremely grateful for everything. I was given an amazing opportunity to come in this league and get better every day and learn every day. So yeah, I'm just extremely grateful.
Huge smile across your face. You have accomplished many milestones. You have made history countless times. Why is this feat so special?
It's family. It's always been family over everything. And, you know, for me, I lost a lot of time because of this league and committing to this league, being on the road at times, missing a lot of his things, Bryce's things, Zuri's things. So to be able to have this moment where I'm working still and I can work alongside my son, it's one of the greatest gifts I've ever got from the man above, and I'm going to take full advantage of it.
Lastly, we heard you telling Bronny before he went on the court, play carefree.
Yeah.
Don't worry about making mistakes.
Yep.
What do you want him to remember every time he steps onto this court as an NBA player?
This is not it's not promised every day that you get an opportunity to play in this beautiful league. It's only 450 of us, and understand it's not given to you. It's not given to you. It's not given to you. You got to earn every moment. You got to earn every moment. You got to earn every moment. And I think he knows that. He knows that. I think he knows that. And he's looking forward to the progress, to the process of getting better and better every single day to be the player that he ultimately wants to be. So, but I'm super proud of him, and he's my lifeline, that's for sure.
Amazing. Congratulations on this win, and congratulations on a lifelong accomplishment, Bronny.
That's it. Hey, look, man. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not gonna spend this season beating up. I almost feel like I'm picking on like a person with special. You know what I mean? Who's got like they're a little off or something. You know what I mean? Like honestly, it's like it's not all there. It's just not all clicking. It's just not all there, bro. And I'm not gonna spend time picking on this situation. I am done with these Bronny James videos. That's it. This is the last one that I'm gonna spend time even addressing this in the slightest, bro. I cannot anymore, man. It's laughable. It's laughable. What do you want him to remember? Well, I just want him to know that, you know what I mean? Like this is not given. This is earned. I mean, you got to work hard for it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I want to get into some highlights from the Laker game. If you guys did not catch the game, the Lakers beat the stuffing out of Minnesota. The score was a little bit closer, you know what I mean, than the actual, game in concert. Lakers were in control of this game the entire way. So I want to get into some highlights, and then, you know what I mean, like as the highlights are running here, I just want to kind of give an analysis myself of, the Lakers. Actually, Laker Nation, I owe you guys an apology, not because I've been picking on this whole Bronny situation and the delusion of LeBron and his camp. You know what I mean? So glad that we got that moment out of the way so I could get that out of my system so I could focus on talking about some other things too. But yeah, I owe you guys an apology, man. I didn't think that the Lakers would look good at all as presently constructed, and the team did not look so bad tonight. LeBron looked a step slower. You know what I mean? Like honestly, he looked like an old man out there tonight. And that is not that is no exaggeration. He looked really, really, really slow. And I felt like because he's been cheating Father Time all this time, like it's gonna hit him. You know what I mean? Suddenly, and maybe this is this is it. Even the dunk that he got coming down the lane, Candace Parker was trying to hype it like he still got hops, and he's 6'8". That with the wingspan, yeah, you don't have to jump very high, and he did not jump very, very high. But anyway, yeah, the Lakers look not horrible as a basketball team, as horrible as I thought that they would. So obviously, this is just one of 81 more games left in the season. But yeah, I think Laker fans definitely have a lot to be excited about. You know what I mean? Given what transpired tonight, I love that Dalton Connect obviously got in the game and played. You know what I mean? Like, well, he was in his bag, like comfortable in his skin. So that was really good to see. Rui Hachimura, man, I knew that Rui would have to take a giant leap. You know what I mean? Or take that step up. I think I said that in my 2024-2025 predictions. You know what I mean? That I looked just for Rui to have a better season this year. So, man, hopefully, you know what I mean? That's a sign of good things to come. He had a pretty decent game tonight. And I'll get the, you know what I mean, the box score up here. But as I mentioned it, like Rui had 18 points on 7 of 14 shooting. Shot 25% from 3-point as well at one for 4, and had 5 boards. So he played really, really good, man. AD is the chip for the Laker fans to really hang their hats on, man. You know what I mean? Like, take a look at this box score here, man. AD is a monster. This dude is so freaking good, man. Definitely hands down the best player on the Laker roster. He poured in 36 points on 11 of 23 shooting, and 1 for 3 from 3, 16 rebounds, 4 assists. I believe he had 3 blocks as well and a steal. Man, AD's an animal, bro. He's so good. I just love it when he's healthy and he's focused and he's on his game, because he is such a good basketball player. It's almost like, I don't know how he's been overlooked so many years with the Lakers, as though he's been like off his game. You know what I mean? He's been playing. His numbers are so solid as a Laker. You know what I mean? Much as they were when he was in New Orleans. But for whatever reason, I think just playing in the shadow of LeBron, he doesn't really get his credit. And hopefully, you know what I mean? Like he'll start to get more of a nod, and people stop disrespectfully treating that Laker team like LeBron James is the best player on that team, because he's not, and he hasn't been for a while. Is Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis had a great game. LeBron helped out or threw in 16 points tonight, 5 boards, 4 assists. So not bad. Austin Reeves helped out with 12 points, pitched in with 12, and Jackson Hayes 10 points off the bench, highest score off the bench. So super good. D'Angelo Russell 4-12, 9 points. Not a super impressive game, but he did D'Lo kind of things. Though they played solid defense. You know what I mean? Dished out a couple of assists the way that he does. So yeah, D'Lo had a decent game. The Lakers did not play themselves, so obviously they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 110-103. And Minnesota, on the Minnesota side of things, obviously Anthony Edwards led the way on 10 of 25 shooting with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. 5 of 13 from 3. So he was intent to jack up, a lot of threes. I think they said he averaged like 12 threes a game last season. And so he was, just went over, kind of what he did pace wise for last season. But Ant was not the problem tonight for the most part. I mean, I just felt like Minnesota was all out of sorts, to be honest. I think that, I think that, and I'm glad that both teams are actually, able to kind of take the court tonight, so that we got a chance to see Minnesota and New York. I'm speaking of specifically, because I think that both teams are just out of sorts with all the moves that they made. So they're not the same teams, obviously, that we watched, close out the season in phenomenal fashion, being the Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I almost don't like what I've seen from both of them, to be honest, after tonight. I almost want to have the league rescind the trades and you know what I mean, like rescind them and send the players back to where they were, because I think that both teams have regressed, and I don't think that it's gonna get much better. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna get much better, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. I think Julius Randle is not such a bad fit in Minnesota. I mean, he gave scored 16 points tonight, grabbed 9 boards, 4 assists. I don't think he's a bad fit, but I mean, for all the complaining I think that I did about Cat in Minnesota, which was some of the same complaints maybe I had about him tonight in New York, about being soft and not being aggressive, and picking the spots of being aggressive, and offensively even, or grabbing grabbing rebounds and boxing out and asserting himself. You know what I mean? Like, for all those complaints, I think he's better suited in Minnesota. That's just from what I saw. But anyway, Julius Randle didn't do too bad in his opener. 13 points and 14 rebounds for Rudy Gobert. He was doing Rudy Gobert-ish things. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because on that podcast with the format podcast with Bruce and Transformer, when we did our 2024-2025 season preview, we had an extensive conversation. Like, Rudy Gobert was brought up, and folks were like, how can he keep winning Defensive Player of the Year if he can't stop anybody on defense? And I literally made the point in that episode to point out that Rudy's a decent defender. He does what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's a good defender as a big man. But when you're playing against elite talent, man, like, you can, like, what do you want him to do? And he's has a guard, Anthony Davis, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to give flowers and you got to give credit, where it's due. So for what it's worth, man, he did a pretty good job tonight. I think he had 2 blocks as well. So shout out to Rudy Gobert. Nickeil Alexander, 14 points off the bench and 5 rebounds. And Naz Reid chipped in 12 points as well, 4 rebounds. So Minnesota's got a lot of work to do. Obviously, it's going to be a matter of them kind of figuring out how to get their chemistry on track. And obviously the season is just starting, so they have this huge now chemistry experiment. And you know what I'm saying, they'll figure it out. They'll have to. Anthony Edwards is definitely going to have to be more assertive, which I'm certain that he will be at points tonight. I just felt like he was kind of lethargic, but I guess that's to be expected, because it's just, you know what I mean, the start of a very, very long season. So yeah, we'll see what happens. They got the stuff and beat out of them tonight. The score doesn't suggest so. Just 110-103 just suggests like a 7-point lost. But yeah, it was pretty bad. The Lakers were in control the entire way, that was the late Laker game. Let's get into the early game, man. Congratulations and shout out to Boston. Boston, stand up. Boston, prior to the game, got their rings, so they had that whole ring ceremony, the whole pomp and circumstance. Man, the ring is fire. You know what I mean? Like that championship ring is incredible. I love how the bezel comes off, and then it's, you know what I mean, like the banner underneath. It's just crazy. A piece of the parquet floor is in there. All this inscribed. You know what I mean? And emerald diamonds. It's crazy. It's an incredible championship ring. Probably one of the most exquisite that I've seen over the years. So shout out to Boston. Shout out to those guys for that. I'm gonna get some highlights up here for you so that you can take a look. But yeah, it was a really good game, man. Boston is a problem. Boston is gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? They beat the stuffing out of the Knicks. And when I say they beat the stuffing out of the Knicks, I mean they beat the stuffing out of them. And the Knicks were not playing bad. That's the crazy part about it, is that the Knicks weren't even playing bad. It's just that Boston is just a terror. That's the same thing that was happening last season, and that I was kind of imploring folks to understand that it wasn't fluke. They, in this style of offense that, you know what I mean, the NBA has kind of embraced, they spread the court better than anybody in the game, and they have so many shooters who can actually shoot the basketball. It's not just like, oh, we need a couple specialists to come in. Like, everybody is a specialist. All of them can shoot every position. They can all shoot the basketball from long range. And so you have to be honest defensively. You have to be honest on all of them. You cannot cheat. You cannot leave anybody. And what happens is, it's impossible when you have so much space not to play in space defensively. So when somebody moves and a shift happens and the ball's being swung, you just can't. No defender just stays in one spot. So somebody's always going to find some space. As soon as a little motion takes place, it's just too difficult to stick everybody. And everybody can shoot. And because everybody can shoot, it makes everybody a threat, and it makes everybody dangerous. Boston knocked down 29 3-pointers in this game from the outset, from first quarter, you know what I mean, on. So the lead was crazy established up to like 30 points or so. They couldn't miss. And what happened was, psychologically, I think it was probably told to them on the bench, like, yo, we need one more three to break the record's 30, and we're almost there. And then all of a sudden, they went like 0 for 13 down the stretch. They couldn't buy a 3-pointer to break the record. You know what I mean? Ultimately, but it's a very good basketball game. I really enjoy watching, Boston kind of show that they were still in form. They look like they haven't missed a beat. It's almost as though they've been still practicing and playing together all summer long, and you know what I mean, like they took no time off, and they all just came, you know what I mean, like together every single day or a few days a week to just continue to practice. I have no idea what their process is. Obviously, there was the Olympics, and folks had to take time off, but man, they were in rhythm. It was crazy. It was again very nice to see them kind of do their thing. Karl Anthony Towns didn't play too bad in this game. It was nice to see him kind of find a groove early. Again, I would like to see him be more aggressive. Jalen Brunson is just Jalen Brunson, obviously an amazing basketball player. So he did very well for the Knicks. And Mikal Bridges was, he was on the struggle bus early, bro. It was. I don't know whose idea it was to change up this brother's form. Take a look at the box score here. But I don't know whose idea it was to have Jalen Brunson change up his shooting form, man. But they need to be fired. Like, honestly, like, what are you doing? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it hasn't been broken. His brother's been a very good scorer in this league for a while. Don't change a thing that's not broken. Whatever he ain't got at this point, he ain't gonna get. You know what I mean? But let's start with the Boston box score just really quickly at a glance. 37 points tonight for leader of the team, Jason Tatum. 37 points on 8 of 11 shooting from three, on 14 of 18 from the field. So an incredibly efficient scoring night for JT. Literally, man, he only missed 4 shots, and 3 of the misses were from three. You know what I mean? Like from deep. So this brother, man, just came out from first quarter on, scored the first 3 points of the game. So he was just lights out. 37 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. So he played amazing. Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 7 rebounds on 5 of 9 from 3, 7 of 18 from the field. So he had a solid game as well. 24 points from Derek White. Derek White also came out and asserted himself early. 8 of 13 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. So he played, had a really solid game, a great stat line. Drew Holiday as well chipped in 18 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Very solid game. And Al Horford, tossed in the old man, 11 points, 3 boards, and 5 assists. Off the bench, Sam Hauser had 10. So he led all scorers off the bench with 10 points, 5 rebounds. They're just, man, they're just too good. They literally are, man. The Boston Celtics are just, they are. I had them in that preview show, my prediction show. I ranked them number 1 again, that they will be the class of the Eastern Conference and more than likely the class of the entire league all over again. I know that their mission is not necessarily perhaps to win 70 plus games, in the season, but their defense is solid. They're a very scrappy, defensive team who really gets after it. They're great on the boards. They're just top to bottom, man. Just an amazing basketball team, and it's very enjoyable to just watch them play. So, like I said, I was glad to kind of see that they haven't missed a beat. On the Knicks side of things, again, Mikal Bridges, man, just had his struggles early. 16 points in the game. Ultimately, he scored all 16 points in the second half on 7 of 13 shooting. Excuse me, 2 of 7 from 3. Chipped in 2 assists also. 22 points for Jalen Brunson, who, got it going early and just kind of tapered off. So obviously he'll get a little more aggressive as time goes on. I expect him to. 1 rebound, 2 assists. He had a couple players, Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart, chipped in 12 points, 7 boards for Cat, 4 boards and 3 assists apiece for both. And off the bench, man, Miles McBride just had a really, really, really good game. This kid scored 22 points. Looks like they're not going to have a problem with finding offense. You know what I mean, when they throw in that second unit. Campaign even chipped in 11 points off the bench. So the Knicks' problem tonight, again, they were shooting efficiently even as they were, losing this game, which was odd. I know at one point, I think Reggie Miller, who he said something like, "Yo, the Knicks are shooting 56% right now, and they're still down by 20." And that's, again, by virtue of not being able to stop anybody, you know what I mean, number 1. And then number 2, Boston just hitting so many threes. I mean, they just couldn't miss. You know what I mean? They knocked down 17 threes in the first half. And so, you know what I mean? You don't really have to be a math whiz to understand that if you're shooting 2s and the other team's knocking down 3s at that kind of a clip, you know what I mean? The score can get out of control really fast. So, excuse me, that's what happened in that game and in the entire NBA for this, very first night of the 2024-2025 NBA season. You know what I mean? That's my quick recap. Shout out to LeBron and Bronny James. Congratulations. Glad you got your stupid ass moment out of the way so we can move forward and, enjoy ourselves some NBA. And until the next episode, man, I'll see you guys. Take care of yourselves. Blessings.